do have better news. I'm standing between you and beer and a hockey game. So I will be as fast as possible. Gotta find the clicker first. So I'm here to basically give our annual report on our sea lamprey control program in Lake Superior, and then give it basically a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing in 2015. We heard this morning about the importance of fish community objectives. The fish community objective that was adopted by the Lake Superior Committee in 2003 for sea lampreys was to suppress sea lampreys to population levels that cause only insignificant mortality on lake trout. I know Hansen loves that because it's clearly stated, quantifiable. So it's currently defined as less than 5% of annual lake trout mortality in Lake Superior. Then to support that fish community objective, the Lake Superior Committee also adopted sea lamprey targets, and that target is based on an average spawning phase abundance during a time when fresh wounding rates on lake trout greater than 533 millimeters was less than 5 marks per 100 fish. So currently the target number of spawning phase sea lampreys in Lake Superior is 39,000 lampreys plus or minus 21,000. So what are we doing to meet those targets or work towards those targets? First and foremost, we're killing lampreys, and we're killing a lot of them. A little late in the day for a woot woot, huh? We completed treatments on 25 tributaries and in 7 lentic areas. There were 2 new producers that were treated, the Little Cypress River on the North Shore and Sioux River in the western arm. And Nama Creek on the Pick River was treated for the first time since 1979. This is just an illustration of those stream treatments. The 3 red dots are the Sioux River, which was a new treatment, the Little Cypress that was a new treatment, and then the Nama Creek, which was a relatively new treatment. Some other notables in lamprey control for 2014, the Nemadji River was treated for the 2nd consecutive time. This was done through special appropriation funds from the state of Wisconsin to enhance sea lamprey control. Fossum Creek, which is a ravine river trib, ineffective treatment due to low water and beaver activity. However, that's an annual treatment, so we'll go back again next year and retreat again. The Tequamanon River, we had high discharge in the fall and were unable to treat, so that was deferred until 2015. And Harmony and Batchewana offshore areas were treated twice. They're treated the 2nd time based on residual population. In addition to our lamprey control program, we have a barrier program. Throughout Lake Superior, we have 18 barriers that are used in the management program. 11 of those are purpose-built, and those are the red dots, and the other 7 are barriers that were existing already, and we made some modification to make them better sea lamprey barriers. In addition to our operation and maintenance program, we also do consultations on any barrier removals or modifications that come through our office, and I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who's been sending those our way. We've been seeing quite a few of them over the last several years, so and most of those are not a problem for the control program, so please keep sending them our way. We did 5 of those for Lake Superior streams in 2014. We also went around Lake Superior and completed barrier inspections on 33 structures. That information is then entered into our barrier database, which many of you have seen a copy of, and we also use that information to give to people like Allison Moody, who was here this morning, for the online selection tool that she talked about. We also have new barrier construction that doesn't happen very often except in extreme situations. So we have 2 new construction projects on the books. Bad River planning continues there, and also on the Whitefish River, which is a trip to the CAM. Ongoing consultation on the Black Sturgeon River, Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, continuing the EA process. And this year, the only notable, repair project was on the Otter Lake Dam, which is on the Sturgeon River. And we completed some modifications in the fish ladder, basically added some extra stop logs and a lip to decrease the opportunity that sea lamprey could move up the system through that fish ladder. We also use a couple of other things as alternative controls in the program. We usually work with Glyphlick and the Bad River Band to do some nest destruction conducted following our spawning season. We did that this year in the Potato River. And also, when we were unsure if we were going to be able to move forward with the Bad River treatment due to high water, we deployed downstream bike nets to capture out-migrating juveniles and captured several of those and then ended up doing the treatment, so all was good there. So not only do we kill lampreys, we also count them so we can see how we're doing throughout the lake. So our larval assessment unit travels around the lake. They determine the presence of larvae, the extent of infestation in those tributaries, and their relative abundance. So they, in 35 tributaries and 9 lentic areas, they estimated larval abundance. Detect presence in 86 tributaries, no new producers found. That's good news. Tom, it's good news. Did post-treatment surveys in 13 tributaries and 4 lentic areas. They also do barrier effectiveness surveys. They look upstream of blocking barriers and just to make sure that we're still okay and the barrier is operating as we thought it was. Did that in 7 tributaries. Unfortunately, we had a very high water spring. They did collect 1 young of year sea lamprey upstream of the Otter Lake Dam, which I had just mentioned on the Sturgeon River. So they'll continue to look upstream of there in the coming years. We also have adult assessment. Their main function is to estimate the lake-wide abundance of adults in Lake Superior, and we do that via trapping. We trapped at 22 tributaries around the lake in 2014. Those are indicated by the black dots. Captured 3,346 sea lampreys last year. And then we use that information in a lake-wide model to come up with a lake-wide abundance. Last year was 79,557 sea lampreys. And then you have the confidence intervals there as well. Also did some research on an eel ladder style trap, which tested on the Brule River. It's basically used to sort finfish from sea lampreys. It's been working out pretty good. Planning to continue researching that work in 2015. Just a couple slides on report cards. This is just a time series of the adult sea lamprey abundance. We had a little bit of an uptick in 2014, but due to some fancy statistics, the confidence limits still overlap the target range, so we're still within target. Yay! And better news, this is the sea lamprey wounding over time, lowest in the time series for sea lamprey wounding in 2014, so we are below target. Now let's go into some of the sneak peek stuff in 2015. Just wanted to illustrate what the treatment effort has been throughout the time series. So on the left, those are field days that we deploy for Lake Superior treatments, and on the right, those are the number of streams treated. You can see that over the last several years, that effort has been pretty consistent. For 2015, we're ramping up a little bit. We're going to be treating 41 tributaries and 10 lentic areas. That's the yellow bar. We'll also continue with a number of alternative controls, operation maintenance of barriers, barrier inspections, consultations I mentioned before. We'll continue with barrier planning for the next 50 years. Nest destruction, downstream trapping, keep working on all of those things. And also continue our assessment programs. Larval assessment will continue doing what they do with determining presence, looking for infestation, and relative abundance of larval populations. A little bit of change this year with the way that we're going to be estimating lake-wide abundance. We're moving to a sea lamprey index rather than trapping all 22 tributaries. We're going to be trapping a smaller subset. It's going to be more precise than what we've been doing before, simply because we're using a smaller subset of the large streams and less model-driven estimates. Less influence from model-derived estimates. So this is a map of the streams that we will now be trapping with the index. So we went from 22 tributaries trapped in Lake Superior down to, I think, 7. So just a little bit different way of doing business. We'll still deliver lake-wide estimates. This is a comparison of the adult index and the historical spawner model that we use. The spawner model is in blue and the adult index in orange or brown, I guess. So typically the general patterns agree between the two. Where those patterns diverge, we still believe that the index is more reliable because it relies on actual marker capture information and is not using information from that same set of streams to extrapolate to all the streams that we didn't have real information for. So, and for those of you who have control issues or have a hard time dealing with change like myself, Gene did develop conversion factors, so if wanted or necessary, we can scale them back up to what they used to be. So that leaves me in a happy place. And that's all I have.